most people think that they're going to retire, which is quite funny. I mean, like a millennial, you're going to need 30 million of tomorrow's dollars to retire on 100 grand a year.
Yeah.
In today's dollars.
It's insane.
Million.
It's insane because like everybody used to go, oh, millionaire. If I can just get to $1 million, I'm set.
Yeah.
Not the case anymore. $1 million, you're gonna burn through that like nothing.
Okay, all right, this is so wrong. This is so wrong. The sad thing is it's a little bit right, but the numbers are way off. I don't know who taught these people how to do math, but it is not $30 million. Let's look at an actual inflation-adjusted calculator to see what boomers thought $1 million 401k was 30 years ago. So let's go back to 1994. How much did you need to have in your IRA or 401k in today's dollars of 2024 to be worth $1 million? Back then it was $475,000. So if you take an inflation adjusted calculator, $475 in 1994 is like $1 million in 2024. Okay, that's what the calculators tell you. This is the actual data coming from inflation adjusted numbers. Now let's take a millennial now that says, I want $1 million IRA or 401k, but inflation adjusted in 2054. So it really feels like $1 million 401k in 2054 dollars. What number is that? Well, you take the same calculator that adjusts this, and that tells us it's $2.1 million. A $1 million IRA or 401k is not going to go as far in 2054, but what does? A $2.1 million IRA or 401k, and that is totally attainable. This idea you're going to need $30 million in an IRA or 401k is why people don't save in IRA or 401ks and are totally broke, because they believe in BS advice like this and people making ridiculous numbers to try and scare people. Guys, IRAs and 401ks are a tried and true method to grow and build wealth long term. They're tax advantaged. You get tax benefits to put money in them. When you make money, you don't pay any taxes that's getting invested and growing. Nothing's going on your 1040 in terms of income or capital gains in your retirement account. And because to grow and come out tax deferred for traditional accounts or tax free for Roth accounts. So there's all these inherent incentives and benefits to use them. Sure, the dollar is worth less in 30 years than it is today, but it is not $30 million difference. It's $1.1 million of difference, okay? We're only talking about needing to get from 1 million to 2.1 million. I know that's a whole million, that's a lot of money, but you can do it. Here's how. All right, so you're a millennial and you're thinking, how much do I need to put into my IRA or 401k to have this $2.1 million in retirement? Well, I'm gonna break it down here for you. It is $16,000 a year. If I put $16,000 a year into my IRA or 401k, and it grows at an 8% rate of return, by the end of 30 years, that is gonna be $2.1 million. Now that is $480,000 of contributions. That's $16,000 a year over 30 years. But the vast majority of this is $1,620,000 of investment gains. This is money that is working for you. That's why we love investing and growing money in retirement accounts, because our money starts working for us in a tax advantaged way. That's how I'm gonna get to 2.1 million. And this 8%, by the way, people might be like, oh Matt, how do you get 8%? Guys, the S&P 500 IRA or 401k account at least gets an 8% rate of return. We have clients getting 12, 16%, 20% returns, investing their IRAs and 401ks in real estate and private companies and small business. You don't just have to buy an ETF or stock. You can. That's what I want you to do if you're brand new to this. You can also self-direct and invest in assets you know. That's what we do at our company, Directed IRA, every day. But let's just assume you can at least do 8%. That is how in 30 years you will have a 401k or an IRA or a combination of the two worth $2.1 million. Now let me break down how you get the actual money in. Okay, in an IRA, you can put $7,000 a year into an IRA. Now, if you're married, your spouse could also do another $7,000. That gets you to 14. But let's say you also have a job with a 401k, and let's say that 401k does a match. Let's say you make $100,000 a year. A common 401k match is, we'll put in 4% of what you make if you put in 4% of what you make. So let's say you make 100 grand a year. Company says you put in 4%, which would be $4,000. We'll put in 4% as a match, which is $4,000. That's 100% return. Your company is putting money in to incentivize you to save. This is one of the reasons people like 401ks, is because your company, if you work at a good one, does a match and throws money in. That gets me to $8,000. It only cost me $4,000, but I got $8 grand a year into that 401k. Again, I got $7,000 in my IRA. That alone can get me to $15,000. Now you can always put more money into the 401k. You can put $23,000 into your 401k if you want without the company doing any matching. So you could satisfy that whole $16,000 by putting money into your 401k. But I'm just showing you don't have to. Just get the match, get out, get over here, do an IRA, do $7,000. This could be Roth IRA or traditional IRA, doesn't matter. But for purposes of what I'm trying to teach you now is if I'm getting at least $16,000 a year in 30 years at an 8%, which is a reasonable rate of return, you can have a $2.1 million IRA or 401k that'll feel like $1 million does today. Now there's so much to learn about growing and building wealth. How do I invest this money? How do I save it? How do I protect my assets? How do I only pay as much taxes as I have to? That's what I'm teaching on my channel every day. Please subscribe. I'm Matt Sorensen. We'll see you next time.